are back with season 2 of Hopefully Healing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As y'all can see, we are in a completely different setup now. We are on video, so yay, hey, look at us. Anyway, so let's just jump right on into season 2. I want to start off with why I left, why I needed to take a break. I took a break because Hopefully Healing stopped feeling like me. I was going through my healing journey, as you all know, as y'all were going through it with me. And we were talking about some heavy stuff last season. We talked about some deep stuff, some trying times. And before I knew it, that's all my life had become. Heavy. Healing the heavy stuff. And it just no longer felt like me. And I looked around my life and I was grateful because I was walking in answered prayers, but it didn't feel good. Like, it didn't feel like the life that I thought it was gonna feel like. And that's what we're gonna unpack today, y'all. What do you do when you get all the things that you were hoping that you would obtain, or you reach your goals and you're walking in these answered prayers and it just doesn't feel like you're fulfilled? You still feel like something is missing, but you cannot quite put your finger on it. And that's what I was going through. So I just kind of wanted to walk y'all through my journey in that, and hopefully it helps y'all. So let me just talk about how I realized that this shit was not adding up how I thought it was going to add up. Like, I have amazing friends. I moved to a new city. I'm in Dallas now. I've been here for about 4 years now, almost 5. And it still just felt like, okay, I checked everything off the list, but somewhere in the midst of me checking everything off the list, all of my goals, all of my dreams, I lost sight of who I was, and it just did not feel good. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I should be happy right now. Like, I'm married, I have amazing friends, like, I have a great community. And I just sat around, I looked around at my life, and I was like, I know this ain't all I got. I know this ain't it. And that may sound so selfish and so ungrateful, but it's just like, I want more. But I just couldn't figure out what that more was. Like, what does more look like? I'm talking about, y'all, it had me questioning, like, do I even still want to be a nurse? Is nursing still my passion? Like, and I love what I do. I get up every morning happy about what I do, but it still was just like, damn, something is missing. And that's when I realized, like, I was missing in all of this. I had mastered how to be a great nurse, a great wife, a great friend, a great coworker, but I did not master how to be me. Who was I outside of all of that? What things brought me joy? I realized, y'all, I didn't have no damn hobbies. I didn't have any hobbies. Like, none. I couldn't tell you, if you asked me what I like to do, I would say, oh, I love to read. Haven't been able to get through 2 chapters of a book. So I started to sit down and I started to analyze, like, okay, Monique, what is it that you do? Like, who are you? Who do you want to be? Like, we have all of these things in social media that kind of gives us these ideas of who we want to be. Like, you can Pinterest board your whole fucking personality. But when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, like, who do you want to be? And that's where the struggle began, y'all, because I thought I was who I wanted to be. So I looked around and then I just started, little by little figuring it out. And I'm still in the midst of figuring it out. But what I did realize is I knew who I didn't want to be. And I did not want to be the girl who was consumed with what everybody expected me to be. So the past couple of weeks, I'd say even month to 2 months, I have completely shut the fuck down. I was on a, very much so, if you've been following me on social media, it's been a burn that shit to the ground and rebuild it. And rebuild it to how exactly you want it to be, and not, the idea of what you thought it would be. And that's very hard to distinguish the two, because we have these ideas of I know this is how I envisioned it, but now this doesn't feel good. So now I have to re-envision my entire life. So I started back putting on clothes. I have a closet full of clothes, but I had just got so accustomed to being so busy that I wasn't pouring back into myself in the way of like, I wasn't getting dressed like I would. Like, I'm a certified fashionista. Follow me on Instagram. But I couldn't get dressed. So this past like month, everywhere we went, like, no, you're gonna put clothes on. No, you're gonna do your hair. You're gonna put on some makeup if that's what you're feeling today. You are going to pour back into yourself. You're gonna be everything that you were to everybody else to yourself. And while that's easier said than done, I learned that sometimes you just have to get your ass up and you just have to do it. So I have been pouring back into myself in that aspect. Definitely taking steps back from social media when I need to. And that's kind of hard because I'm trying to promote hopefully healing and you know that. But sometimes you still have to take a step back because as I've said in previous episodes, social media will have you comparing your life to other people's lives, and you'll spend so much time doing that, you still won't get to know yourself. You'll start to mimic the people that you see online that you feel like that you like. And while that can be cool, a nice little way, I've seen people try to do that with styling their clothes and finding their own personal style. That's great. You cannot use social media to figure out who you are though, internally. Like, yes, you can find the outfits, find the places to go eat, but social media cannot present you your personality and who you are. And I feel like we got a lot of that going on, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I started back putting on clothes and started going places. Me and my wife started dating each other again. Like, we've been trying different coffee shops because there's stuff that we like to do, but we got so caught up in just life that we haven't been able to do those things. I actually started journaling. Y'all know I hate to fucking journal. That is so ghetto. Why are we journaling? What are we talking about? But I did realize like journaling has helped me not bleed out onto my friends and trauma dump on them. So that's been good because also what I learned is I take in a lot of feedback, and I was doing a lot of things because I wanted my circle to praise them and I wanted my circle to give me the validation to keep going. And I realized that their voices started to become louder than my own voice, and I wasn't trusting myself. So that's another thing I started doing. I started making decisions without input, because a lot of times input from outside sources can also shape who you are. Because again, their voices will start to get louder than your own voice. So I started doing that as well. So what all have I told you I've been doing? Getting dressed, trying new things, listening to my own voice and trusting myself, and sitting down. I have done a lot of sitting down in isolation and a lot of deep thought. Like, what is it that I want my life to look like? What areas of my life am I unhappy with? What areas of my life do I want more out of? And I would encourage you all to do that too. And I'm not saying you have to do it in a day because things will come up to you as they come. But I definitely would encourage you guys to write down your likes, your dislikes, write down the different areas of your life that you want to change and what you want them to look like. I think I got to a point like a couple of weeks ago where I realized that I was working towards something, but I didn't know what I was working towards. And it's kind of hard to reach another goal when you don't know what it is. And that made me realize, like, okay, I'm working towards happiness. I'm working towards happiness. I'm working towards, getting out of being content and actually living my life and thriving and happy. But if you don't know what happiness looks like for you, that's kind of hard to work towards. If you don't know the things that bring you joy, you don't know the things that make you smile, you don't know, if you don't know what you're hunting, how are you going to find it? And I used to be very much so like, oh, you'll just know. One day you'll just look up and know. And the older I get, it's like, no, you won't just look up and know. Like, you have to get out there and figure out what happiness is and what that looks like to you. I lost my train of thought, y'all, because I'm yapping. I kind of missed y'all, so I'm yapping. What else? Oh God, what else have we been doing to find fulfillment? Been going back to church, heavy on church. I had gotten so out of touch with church, and I don't even know why. Like, I go through these ebbs and flows of church. Like, one minute I'm all in, note taking, hallelujah, praise God, and the next minute I'm like, child, I ain't went to church in weeks. I ain't watched church. I ain't feeling church. I ain't really even talked to God. And I do realize, like, once I'm disconnected from God, a lot of things in my life are disconnected, and a lot of things don't feel fulfilled. But I think that, and that takes me into like figuring out what your purpose is, because sometimes we come up with our own things that we think, you know, are our purpose, and we do these things, and then we realize, like, oh God, no, this can't be it. Or is it it? Like, I was struggling with myself with the podcast. Like, do I need to come back? Like, who is this reaching? Is this even what I'm supposed to be doing? Because it don't feel how I thought it was going to feel. It's not getting the traction that I thought it was going to get. And something in my spirit just told me to keep going. Because if I only touch 5 of y'all, I am very happy and content with that. But long story short, in order for you to start to feel fulfilled in your life, you have to sit back and actually analyze the things that you want different, the places that you know, want to change around you. Hell, even the people around you can affect how you feel in your life. And, you know, so I think that's important too, to analyze all of those things. Write these things down and really, like, think about them. Really think about them. I know, like, as far as with my relationship, like, we weren't spending as much time as we needed to together, and it just started to happen that we were existing. And you look around and you like, this not the type of marriage I want. I don't want to just exist. And so now it's like, okay, we had to decide what we wanted our marriage to look like and to work towards that. And same with friendships. I know me with friendships, like, y'all, I suck at keeping up with people. Not my core friends, because I talk to them all the time, but like people that I'm meeting. Like, I've been wanting to meet new friends in the Dallas area, so if y'all in DFW, hit me up. But I've been wanting to meet more friends in Dallas, but my problem is I have an issue with keeping up with people. And so I've been working on that, because what do I want my friendships to look like? I want to be very intentional with my new friendships and developing them. So if I'm going to do that, I have to be just as intentional as I am with my older friends as I am with my new friends. Yeah, y'all, normally I got my little notepad and I'm looking at it. But since we on video, like, I gotta just shoot it straight off the dome from my memory. But those are the steps that I'm taking to find fulfillment in my life. I'm still in school. I haven't started this semester, but I say all this stuff to say, because I'm just keep losing my train of thought. But I say all that to say, when you look around your life and you realize it's not turning out how you thought it would, even though you've obtained all the things that you wanted to obtain, sometimes it's okay to completely destroy or demolish the life that you thought that you wanted and build something new that fits who you are now and fits where you're going now. Because a lot of times when we built those lives in our heads and when we started, you know, striving for those dreams, we were a different person. And if anybody knows anything about chasing your dreams and chasing the life that you want, you're going to go through some shit. And while you're going through this shit, you're going to change. Well, you should change. Like, you're going to change mentally, emotionally, how you process things are going to change. And so by the time that you get to that goal, your mindset is probably not even the same way as it was when you first started. And now that goal no longer fits who you are. And that's okay. That's not you failing. That's not you, you know, lying to yourself about your dreams and your goals. Sometimes it just does not align with who you have become. And it's okay to burn that shit down and rebuild it into who you are today. And that's what I've been doing. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. So this is a very short episode, real quick and simple. First one back. Again, I just want to thank all of y'all who have tuned in to last season. Thank y'all for tuning in to this season. I hope y'all like it. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling about this whole video situation, because I'm a little like on edge. It will get better though. So again, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Hopefully Healing. I hope y'all have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.